Hello there, I am Judd, one of the owners of JX Venue, and just wanted to give you a little rundown of the history and the detail of this place, little known facts. The first is that this building was built in 1905, and the lumber industry was booming in the late 1800s, 1895 or so, and then all of a sudden the trees were just all cut down. So there's a big depression in town, and so all the business owners got together and built this shoe factory to keep people employed in the town of Stillwater. So that's the history of this massive building that's 200 feet long and 70 feet wide. I'll take you inside for some more detail. Okay, here are some of the memorabilia that we have from the old Connolly Shoe Factory. These are some of the dudes that worked here. You can see the distinct arched big windows that are in here and just kind of what a sweatshop it was. The little garden that's on the side of the place, and some really fashionable wingtips that I think a lot of us could probably sport today. Look at that place. Who wants to work there? No air conditioning or heat. So we're on the second level of JX right now. JX is above us, and down here we have Just Cuz Beauty Boutique. One of the benefits of using Just Cuz Beauty Boutique services is that bridal parties can get into the venue a little bit earlier, bring all your stuff inside, and they take care of you right down here during that getting ready time. All right, we are in the bourbon room right now, and check out this Stillwater Evening Gazette here. This is from 1965. These are the guys that wore Connolly shoes. Andy Williams, Johnny Carson, Jackie Gleason, Ted Williams, Jerry Lewis, and Jack Parr. Pretty cool. All right, also on level 2, we have Stillwater Escape Company, which is part of Studio J, which is my company also. But I wanted you to point your direction here. This is the shoe factory, I think originally, but see how the door right now is right in the middle? It was slightly to the right at one time, and then as you look down here, it was all the way to the left. So isn't that interesting that the door has been in 3 different locations? And oh, there's a little secret pad for one of the escape room puzzles. Check it out. Okay, these are the original investors into the Connolly Shoe Company building. They're all chipping in like $5,000 to kind of make this place happen. Poor Ida Johnson here. She was in, but then she was out. The old cross out. All right, this is, uh-oh, that could be a problem. This is the Cave, another escape room. And if you've never been in an escape room, there are about 20 puzzles. You can go into the room with maybe 4 to 20 people and try to get all the puzzles within an hour or so. I might have trouble getting out. All right, so this is the Connolly conference room. It's great for corporate meetings, but also like birthday parties. You know, if you're a kid and you have a birthday in the winter, what are you gonna do? You get older, they can do the escape rooms. We have axe throwing down below, which we'll take you there in a second. Wedding clients are having rehearsal dinners here for maybe up to 20 or 30 people. They can do an escape room, and they can do some axe throwing and get to know people a little bit better. So that's kind of a fun thing to do for weddings. All right, welcome to Studio J and Judd the Photography. This is our studio, kind of a real nice, crisp, clean, modern look. We shoot about 20 weddings per year. We've shot about 500 weddings or so in our career for about 20 years or so. And then we do about 200 portrait sessions. So this is kind of where we live. And during the dances at JX, it gets a little bit loud down here. Sometimes dust falls and things like that. Welcome to the Lumberjack. This is the place where the axes get thrown. And a lot of fun for people. Everyone wants to throw an axe, it seems. So also a great idea for rehearsal dinners or just fun. All right, welcome to the Velveteen. This is the speakeasy that's just off the front lobby. And the cool thing that I want to, besides the atmosphere in here, is that there's a secret tunnel. So the tunnel, this was the shoe factory back in the day, and the shoe store was right across the street, Commercial Street. So they used to ship the shoes right underneath the ground in this tunnel. How cool is that? All right, this is a picture of the Connolly Shoe Company, and it says around 1910, so it's only 5 years old here. But check out the gas lamp. Isn't that cool? Like they just had wires across the street with a gas lamp. And then right here in the corner, you can see this little wagon wheel. So the photographer like literally got out of his horse-drawn wagon and took this picture. I think that's pretty cool. And then we made this big mural right here. These are all the guys that used to work here. They're like proud of all their work. We found a hole in the floor that was actually patched with a metal shoe insole. This is that same picture right here. And these are some actual shoes. These were found at a garage sale. And these are here in the building. And it's got some Treasury Department, the actual stamp, and some letters about a refund or something like that, just from 1946. Just some really cool memorabilia. And then a history of the place. which basically made shoes here until about 1967 when tennis shoes kind of came into vogue. And then nobody wanted leather shoes anymore. But before 1967, almost every man, woman, child wore leather shoes that were made here. And for World War II, there were 75,000 pair of army boots that were made in this building, which is pretty cool. All right, these are wear marks in the floor near the ceremony area. This is the ceremony area here. But these are, so the shoe workers, as they worked on the shoes in the building, like the very lowest level where the lumberjack and the Velveteen Speakeasy are, there's still a nail down here. That's where the raw hides came in, rawhide. And then they kind of moved up, and then this is the finishing point up top. And we had this older woman that came in and said that she used to come and have lunch with her grandpa by sitting in the garden outside, and he would be sitting here because they couldn't leave their workstation while they were having lunch, and they would like wave at each other and have lunch together back in the day. So that's kind of a cute story. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was that at the dining room, this curtain level here, we have, you can see the seam that is between, and it's also the highest point of the roof, which is 17 feet. This is the original end of the original building. But once the shoe factory people started moving their equipment in here, they realized it wasn't big enough. So they did this addition, which is the dining room addition, which I'm really glad that they did. They did that almost immediately after creating the building. So it's very rare to see a building, especially in Stillwater, that's 200 feet long from the back to the staircase. So it's a nice big place. The X in JX is because it's a variable, and I used to be a math teacher, that you can kind of do whatever you want. We kind of know how events work the best, but have a great party at JX. Hope you enjoy the detail and the history.